welcome to another video. So today in this video, I will be continuing the topic that we were discussing last time. So in the last video, I posted all the analysis from the years 2011 to 2020, and I told you the 9 chemistry chapters and their weightage. In this particular video, I will be talking about each of those 9 chapters, and I will be telling you the most important topics from each. So without much further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first chapter is atomic structure and periodicity. Now these are the topics you need to continue and study in this, that is uncertainty principle. Now here I'm talking about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, the equation, and how to use that formula to solve sums. Very simple. All you need to do is understand the law and understand the equation. Okay. Then next you have the quantum model of hydrogen. Especially you have to focus on the quantum numbers, the principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, spin quantum number, and magnetic quantum number. Along with that, you should be very well aware of the spectral lines of hydrogen. That is the different series, the Balmer series, Lyman series, Paschen series, Brackett series, and P-Fund. You need to know about the formula as well. Then you have the electronic configurations. There are some anomalous configurations also. You also have the half-filled, fully filled rule that applies to these, that you must be knowing. Then ionization enthalpy. So basically the trends that you observe in ionization enthalpy, you should be able to tell which ionization enthalpy, which configuration will be, most hard to ionize, etc. Then next is the atomic size. You need to predict the or arrange the atomic atoms according to their atomic sizes. Then you have the concept of isoelectronic species. Very simple. This at least you need to do from this particular unit. Then from the second unit, we have structure and bonding. Now in structure and bonding, the topics seem very limited. However, it is super vast and there are n number of questions that are asked from this. Now from where to study this, I will suggest the best place you can start is with the 12th and 11th standard textbooks. You can go for NCERT or any of your state textbooks as a beginning. That is the best place to do this. And you can also refer to my videos if you want any special videos. I've already made a few from organic chemistry. If you want me to cover some tips and tricks for this, do let me know in the comment section. It will definitely help me to guide you in the proper direction. Now in structure and bonding, firstly, we have hybridization. Okay, now in hybridization, they may give you a molecule and tell you to predict what its hybridization is, whether it's sp3, sp2, sp3d. Okay, also questions come from geometry. So if you know the hybridization, you will be able to predict the geometry. The magnetism, that can also be predicted from hybridization. Then you have another theory, that is the MOT, molecular or vital theory. Again, these are for atoms or elements from atomic number 1 to 10. So those particular anti-bonding, bonding orbitals, all those you need to understand. Then you have the valence bond theory. Next theory is the VSEPR, where again it's used to predict the geometry and hybridization. Then another concept you need to know is the dipole moment, how to calculate the dipole moment, whether molecule will have a dipole moment or not, to predict all of those. This is the topic where a lot of questions have been asked. And finally, then you have structure parameters. What do I mean by structure parameters? Here you have bond length, bond order. Okay, you have bond strength, lone pair, bond pair repulsions. All those you have to try and understand over here. Okay, how will you arrange molecules according to the increasing bond length, increasing bond angle? Then next we have the S, P, and D block elements. So especially the focus is on the oxides, halides, and hydrides of the group 1 and 2, that is alkali metals, alkali earth metals. Then you have the boron family, group 13, group 14, group 14, and then you have group 15, that is the nitrogen family. So these are of major focus. Also halogens, in that you have to do the interhalogen compounds very well. Then the coordination complexes. So basically D block elements usually form a lot of coordination compounds. So properties like the color, okay, what are ligands, what are the different coordination compound, what are the isomerisms in them, that you have to do. Then VBT and CFT with respect to coordination complexes. Okay, these are used to predict the geometry of the compound and the structure, the hybridization along with the magnetism. So geometry, magnetism is covered, and isomerism. So you have to understand about the types of isomerism, that is structural and stereoisomerism, optical, geometric, all those fall under this category. Isomerism, again, a very, very important topic. Then we have chemical equilibrium. So in chemical equilibrium, we have to do colligative properties. Now, what are the colligative properties? They are vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. You need to know this concept. You need to know Raoult's law. These have many daily life implications also, so it is super important. Now, this you will find in the chapter solutions and colligative properties in your 12th. It doesn't come exactly under chemical equilibrium chapter. Then you have ionic equilibria. In ionic equilibria, you must be accustomed with the solubility product, okay, that is KSP, and you should be accustomed with the common ion effect. These two are very important topics of ionic equilibria. Then hydrolysis of salt. So basically, when you add a salt in a solution, what is the change in the pH? Is there a change? What kind of solution will you get? Then pH and the buffers. So you should know how to calculate the pH of a solution. The Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for calculation of the pH of a buffer. Then what does the buffer depend upon? Like, does the pH change with certain conditions? That you need to know. And then for gas reactions, you need to know about the Kc, Kp, and how to calculate them, the relationship between the two. Then next up, we have electrochemistry. So in electrochemistry, you have to do conductance. Then we have to cover Cauchy's law, Nernst equation, and thermodynamic aspects. Under conductance only, we have this Cauchy's law of independent migration. Then Nernst equation is used basically to calculate the EMF of a cell. Then thermodynamic aspects. Here with this, we are basically talking about spontaneity of a reaction, that is Gibbs free energy, whether a particular cell will work spontaneously or you'll have to supply energy. Next topic is kinetics. So in kinetics, as I was telling you, calculation of the rate constants, understanding the difference between order and molecularity, how to estimate the order of the reaction, what is activation energy, okay, the Arrhenius theory, the zero order reaction, first order reaction, and second order reaction kinetics. In this, you specially need to understand and remember three things. First is how will you calculate the rate constant for this? Second thing, the unit of the rate constant for this. And third is the half-life of the reaction. These are the three parameters you definitely need to do under this. And finally, the catalysis. So how a catalyst affects a reaction, how it reduces activation energy, etc. Then next up, we have thermodynamics. Now, thermodynamics, we have three laws that you need to do. The first law is, under the first law, you need to cover, first of all, the equation of the first law, then the different types of processes, internal energy, and the concept of enthalpy. You need to know the Kirchhoff's equation. Second law deals with entropy and free energy and work function. Under that, you should know the Gibbs equation, then the Cauchy's equation, and equilibrium constant. Finally, the statement of the third law and equations associated with it. The most important chapter, general principles and organic chemistry mechanisms. In that, you should know about the concepts of acids and bases and the theories associated, the different types of isomerisms, conformers, and the concept of aromaticity. So in this, you need to know about the staggered, the eclipse, Newman, horseshoe projections, all of those. Concept of aromaticity, you need to know the Huckel's rule. Then SN mechanism, it includes SN1 mechanism and SN2 mechanism. Under elimination reactions, we have Hoffman reaction, Sedzev's reaction, Markovnikov, and anti-Markovnikov rule. Anti-Markovnikov is nothing but the Karash effect. Then we have the cycloaddition reactions, that is Diels-Alder reaction, Diels-Alder reaction and hydroboration oxidation reaction. Followed by which you have aromatic electrophilic substitution reactions. And finally, how to identify the functional groups, that is test for aldehyde, test for ketones, test for alcohol, test for phenol, that you have to know. So that's about the 8th unit. And the 9th unit, as I said, biomolecules in the previous unit also, that those topics you will automatically be covering in the unit 1, that is biochemistry. So you especially don't need to actually do anything over here. If you want to study chemistry, if you are somebody who needs to brush up some concepts or somebody who needs to learn it all together, don't worry, I'm coming up with a series. I have linked down 2 videos that I have already made. So do check it out and start solving. Also suggest any videos that you require me to do, any topic in general. Okay. And if you want me to give similar weightages and importance for botany, microbiology, biochemistry, or food technology, then do message down in the comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.